Boots are a basic component of any men's wardrobe. That's why I want to bring my experience with boots. This time we're gonna talking about Wesco. See you inside. Here are my Wesco boots. This is a collaboration between Ironheart and Wesco. They produce boots. They are collaborating between them for a long, long time. In matter of fact, Chris Warren, which is the face now of Wesco, uh, talking about like friends, the friends from Ironheart. Anyway, before to move to a review of these boots, I want to tell you how I decided to buy a pair of Wesco. I'm into boots. That's if you follow my channel, you know I'm into boots. I really like, enjoy. I have a collection of boots, mainly made in USA and in UK. That's the style of boots that I like. I was wearing boots since I think I was a teenager. As a disclaimer, I have a condition in my skin that prevent me to use in my feet. It prevent to use for a long period of time synthetic materials. Then the leather is the way to go. I wear always leather shoes or boots, more boots than leather shoes. For my profession, I used to wear a lot of shoes, but now since COVID, the things has changed and wear more casual boots, a little more smart boots, in my job. And my profession was changed a lot since the dress code, and now I allowed to dress in that way and use my beloved boots. Anyway, uh, having a really love for boots, I always am researching. I get into as like 4 or 5 years ago, I get into the Pacific Northwest boots, and my first pair of Pacific Northwest was Viber boots. And since then, I keep digging, and little by little, I build my collection of Pacific Northwest boots. The most known brands. I know there are other producers, but let's talk about not just the specific and small producers, you know, the well-known producers. My first Pacific Northwest made in USA was a Nix boot, but always keeping researching. Then, of course, when it come out Nix, come out Whites, come out Franks, come out JK, and come out Wesco boots. When I start to dig in what my next boots were from White, but I still want to try other brands, and I was looking for something different because Nix, Franks, Whites are all connected, belong to the same style, style construction, and Wesco, despite the Pacific Northwest, are not in close relation with Whites, Nix, and Franks. Then I start to digging into this brand, and always my main problem was the waiting time for custom boots from Wesco. Now are 19 months. 19 months. Then you buy the boots, and in the way I am, I like to buy the boots and not take too long to have the product in my hands. And then come around the video of Rose Anvil. They produced 2 videos talking about Wesco, and wasn't really nice videos. Despite they say that they still are good quality boots, they highlight some things that call my attention and prevent me to buy these Wesco boots. He bought it from Black Bear or something like that, a company, a collaboration between Wesco and this company, and it took like 15 months to receive the boots, and when he received, find big things in the boot, then he cut in half the boots and showed things that were nice, despite saying, well, it's still really good quality, but things that highlight and were nice. And that video, make me change my mind and say, okay, I don't want to buy any Wesco boots, but still keep reading Reddit forums and reviews of Wesco, Stitch Down website talking about the Wesco boots, the interview with Chris Warren as a representative of Wesco, and come across a video of Chris Warren answering the Rose Anvil video, he highlights some inaccuracies and explain why is in the way was constructed that special type of boot that was made was horsehide. That model was the same model like this, a Jobmaster, but lace to toe. But it was the word Jobmasters. I put the links of the video in the description of this. I really recommend see watch first the Rose Anvil videos, and after that the answer of Chris Warren, which is very good in terms explanation and explain things. That's what happened, and then I stopped looking boots from Tesco. I stopped looking for. Then when I started looking for how is engineer boots, Wesco is one of the big producers of engineer boots, and they producing engineer boots since 1939 or more or less, and it hasn't stayed production. There are two models, the Boss and Mr. Lou, but let's put aside that. Then I realized that back in June of this year, Ironheart released these Jobmasters. And it was available in the website. I live in UK, then for me it was even more easy because I don't need to deal with the tax, important tax, all that payments were expensive, still, are expensive because they still are available on the website, but I want to try, and the fact that it was made in horsehide even make more attractive these boots. Then I decided to buy it. Then coming the problem of the sizing. For your knowledge, usually in white, Nicks, Franks, and Viber, I use 11.5 US. That is my size. My Brannock is 12D, and then usually I board 11.5 D in all that Pacific Northwest. Then I thought that with Wesco, it's gonna be the same, but I was wrong. The Wesco, I bought it first 11.5 without thinking, without any doubt, saying, okay, it's our Pacific Northwest, gonna be more or less the same size. Then let's pull the trigger. But for my surprise, I found that it was very snug, was rubbing in the pin toes, and despite have space in the front of my toes, despite have space in front of my toes, still were very painful. I wear that for 3 or 4 days, which make me trouble because I cannot exchange again those boots, and try to say, okay, when the break-in is gonna, but that's wrong. That is wrong. Think about it, that is, you have rubbing in your pinky toe, you have rubbing in your toes, that's gonna improve with the wearing. In my case, didn't happen, and it's something that the people who advise, when advised to size, doesn't happen again. Doesn't happen. Now, there's never gonna be better. Then I picked a pair of this model in 12D, and since then, perfect. I was wearing this all the summer in daily basis, even in the weekends. During the week is approximately 12-14 hours of use wearing, walking around, not sitting in the chair, walking up and down, because my job could be on the desk, or I need to walk a lot, go up and down, and then if you have uncomfortable shoes, probably you're gonna suffer a lot. And to my surprise, I find out that this was one of the most comfortable boots, and is one of my more complimented boots by far. Since I started wearing these boots, I received a lot of compliment for guys and chicks, girls. I have really a lot of compliments, and looks like chunky boots. I thought, well, chunky boots is not gonna be, no one's gonna like this chunky boots. No, I used to wear a low profile sole because, you know, find that more fashionable or more stylish than the chunky boots or chunky soles. No, was a mistake. These boots were more complement than the low profile boots. Anyway, this is a little bit how I arrived to this to buy these boots. In terms of comfort, I already told you it's very comfortable from the very beginning. Was a little bit stiff. Think about it, the thickness of this is 2.2 millimeters more or less. These are not a very thick leather, still thick but not very thick leather. It's horsehide, which is when it's breaking, take a time breaking, but when it's breaking are very comfortable leather, like a Chromaxel, like the Horwin horsehide. This horsehide, this leather is for Marian tannery, is vegetable tone leather made in Toscana in Italy, and is, you can see here the picture is the TPR is the name of this leather, and you can see it's very bright, very shiny leather. But in real life, when you start, they say it has a lot of pull-up. See a pull-up? Is there a pull-up? Yes, there is some pull-up. There is some pull-up. Okay. Not much really. No, like how is the oil tanned leather, but it's not that bright like you see in the picture. It still is some have how it shine. It's a shiny leather, but it's not that shiny like you know. It's called your attention. Like it's very nice leather. Very nice leather. I cannot complain. Then it's more expensive than the cowhide leather. The leather, the original of the leather is Poland, and the is tanned in Italy in this by this tannery, Mariam tannery. Well, let's see the construction now. Construction-wise, it's a stitch down. It's a stitch down construction. You can see it. And let's go through the stitch. With most people, many people complain about the stitching. I see in some places where they complain about the stitching of this. But in my case, two pairs of these boots I go through and never have a complaint with the stitch. It's not perfect because it's handmade boots. Are handmade, and being handmade never gonna be perfect. That's something I need to accept in this kind of boots. If you have a factory that is mass produced and is produced by machine, probably it's gonna be more perfect, more close to the perfection. But this is handmade, hand stitched by machine, but machine stitched by hand. It's gonna be imperfection. But look at the stitching. Look at the stitching is fine. There is fine stitching. I cannot complain. Could be a little bit asymmetric in some parts, a little bit less symmetric, but don't bother me really. I'm not that kind of perfectionist because I want that. That's need looking for other type of construction. You can see the stitching is fine. The leather is fine. You can see some scratches here from my denim. This I need to put some kind of cream here. I'm gonna use a neutral color cream for this, but the construction is fine. You see, it's fully gusseted. The Jobmaster is 8 inches. This is no horsehide. This is cowhide leather. You can see and see the difference here. This cowhide leather is thick. It's very thick, but very nice, very pliable, and very comfortable. The hardware is brass. The hardware is brass. You see, it's brass. It's very nice. It's very nice. That makes a very good match with this color of the leather. the sole is a lug sole, Vibram 100. There's 2 months use, and there's no much change in the sole. It's still holding really well. Walking every single day more than 12 hours. Yeah, more than 12 hours I wear this because I wake up 5 o'clock, 5:30, and then until I jump into the booth 6 o'clock after I take a shower. Then you see the stitches are holding really well. There is one difference here I find out. If you take out a pair of Nicks, this is my brand new Nicks. I need to break it. Has 2 lines stitches. I was wearing a couple times, but not much, not often. And this is 1 line stitch. And another difference in terms of construction, there's a metal shank, no a leather shank, which make any difference in terms of the functionality of the boots? For me, no. According to some people say, well, the leather shanks, what do is take the shape of your foot and then could fit better. In my case, there are other boots that I have that has leather shank. I never have a problem. And with this, in terms of comfort and daily wear, is no problem whatsoever. We're just talking about the experience on the field, the walking with this. For me, are not work boots, are more stylish boots or fashionable boots. The spring toe is fantastic. It's fantastic. I think the shape is great. I always prefer more the Nicks, are not that much spring toe, and not that much, are more flat. But well, at the end, I used to and really like it. I really like it. Inside, the inserts are leather. Let me show you one of the inserts. Inserts are leather, are thick leather, are very thick leather. This can buy in the website when they run out, when I worn off this. And look at the how is the imprint of my feet. I say just right. Just, it's not 11.5, it's 12. My size in Wesco Boots is 12. Because this made me thought about it almost when I buy the engineer boots, Mr. Lou. I almost I buy it in 11.5D. Thank God I don't do it. Remember, John Lofgren, I have 12D as well. 12D. Anyway, so far, construction, there is fantastic. I have no issues or concern with the construction. In terms of functionality and the comfort, I have no concerns. This is a really nice boot. And in terms of fashion, it was a boot really, really well regarded and has a lot of compliments related with this boot. And you can see with the kilties as well. The kilties wise, let's talk about the kilties. Are very tiny, but when you actually wear the boot, don't make any, there's no problem. But looks very tiny kilts compared with other kilts. And are made again with horsehide, the same leather that you use for the construction of the boot. Another thing, leather laces. Leather laces. I always hate the leather laces because I always thought that they snap very easily, very easily. But my experience with Nicks, France, and whites, never had a problem with the snap any one. They stretch, that's true, they stretch, but I thought, are not heavy duty, they're not gonna last long. So far so good. And with this, the laces from Wesco is the same experience. They're stretchy, they stretch a little bit until are breaking, and then since then, no problem whatsoever. You can see here, no problem whatsoever how I wear these boots. In terms of Some people say lustres or construction. You can see this, but these are the finish where they cut. Can be done with some lighter and burn that, but I don't even touch it. But this is where I finish the machine to sew. That's why that's are these called lustre. But for me, are not lustres, are the threads from the finish itself of the sewing. Inside, any rubbing, any problem? No, any problem at all. I think these are really good boots. Another thing, Rose Anvil said it was cardboard. This one of the heel stacks, but watch the video of Chris Warren when explain about the heel stack as well. It's not cardboard at all. And the other thing that complained Rose Anvil was the counter, the heel counter. It was a piece of leather, thick leather that he used to see in. Of course, if you have a boot like this, look at this, the count. I cannot compress this. There's a really strong counter heel. Here, I can. You can see, I can. But according to Chris Warren, if they use a thick counter heel, they're gonna be marked here, and that lose the concept of the boots itself. He say and he explained that the boots that they make for as a work boot, specifically as a work boot, the counter is very thick. It's very thick. These are more, the leather is thinner, and you put thick counter or thick toe here, it's gonna be very obvious and gonna mark and gonna lose the characteristic of the boot as the style the boot. You know, it looks nice really. I think it's a boot that I never gonna regret to buy. Never gonna regret to buy. I don't know. They say maybe something that keep in mind. They say that they can rebuild, but they're gonna have this the same leather at that time you send for rebuild. Anyway, that's just a question. But this boot is not gonna need any rebuild any soon. Gonna make many years and more with the rotation. I have boots, but that's things that come. I have any complaint about the boots? No. Zero complaints. I have anything that I decided to do different? No. It was very comfortable from the very beginning. My mistake to choose, they pick their wrong size, but I think it's a boot that's worth a lot. And I strongly recommend it to go for if you look in this type of style boots, is don't hesitate, don't doubt to pull the trigger. If you like this style, you don't have any problem. The only problem is the sizing. That's the only thing that need to keep in mind. Thank you so much to be here, and see you in the next video. Bye.